Never did I ever think that I'd be sitting here making a video about a miscarriage. I've always heard of them. I've seen many girls go through them. Honestly, never did I think that I'd be one of them. So last year we did go through 4 IUIs. All 4 failed. And we decided to just stop completely trying, at least going to the doctors and checking ovulation. We decided to just put a hold on that for completely, because as you guys saw from the previous video that I have shared with you, we were going to go straight into IVF come 2022. So in September, we found out that I was pregnant. You can already imagine we were shocked. We were so over the moon, excited and happy and grateful for this to finally happen for us. The night that we found out, I had been having some symptoms, but I never did I ever think that I could be pregnant. I remember telling Luis, I keep feeling nauseous when I'm eating or when I'm about to eat, but it's like a nauseous where as soon as it comes, it goes away very fast and then I'm fine. It had been happening to me 2 days already, back to back, right before I found out I was pregnant. And he actually told me, why don't you just test? And I'm pretty sure in his mind, he was thinking, you're just crazy. It's in your head. You're not pregnant, but just take a test so that you can stop thinking about it, that you could be pregnant. And he was like, just test. Don't you have a test? I found 2. I had 2 tests, 2 digital tests. Yes, I took all of these tests. So when we got that test, we were in my parents' kitchen and he was like, just go test. So I grab the test and it was a digital test. So I was like, great, it's gonna say not pregnant. So I took the test, I put it back in the little plastic wrap that it comes in. So the timer goes off. As I pull it out, it's like you already know what you're gonna read. But I see pregnant. And I couldn't believe it. I was confused for a second and I show Luis, and we did not record this. Out of all the times I have recorded myself taking pregnancy tests, I was like, why am I gonna record this? This is just gonna be a waste of a recording. I'm not gonna record it. We had been out all day helping friends that were moving in. So we looked a mess. So I was like, I'm not gonna record this because we already knew what we would expect. And sure enough, it says pregnant. And we look at each other and we're just in shock. We just start laughing. I still have it. I still have all the tests I took. And I thought by now, it's been a couple months, it would have already faded off. But I'm impressed of how the digital test still shows pregnant. This is the test I took. This is the very first test, and I even marked it in the back. This was the time and the date, September 6th at 8:10 p.m. I call my doctor's office the next morning and they send me off to get blood work done. And I believe my first HCG came back, I was at 400 something. And she asked me when was the first day of my life cycle, and I let her know. She was like, oh, you're approximately about 5 weeks, a day or 2 off 5 weeks. I'm like, wow. And she said, and I want you to retest your HCG levels in 2 days. I go back in 2 days and they were at a little bit over 1,000. So she was like, okay, yeah, they're good. Come in for your ultrasound next week. We go in and the tech does the ultrasound, and she's quiet. And I start feeling like something's not right. Why isn't she saying, oh, there it is? She said, oh, here's your sac. And then after that, she just stays quiet. That's when I knew something was wrong. And she said, you might not be as far along as we thought you were, since you ovulate off. So I said, okay. But I mean, what does that mean? Like, so she said, I'm gonna have the doctor come in and have her check. Maybe I'm not seeing something or I'm missing something. Doctor comes in and she says, let's take a look. And she said that there's no baby. They don't see anything. I have my gestational sac, and it's measuring what she thought I was, but there's nothing inside. So she said, it could be that you're not as far along as we thought you were. Come back in a week and we'll check you again. Or was it 2 weeks? I don't remember. But she did tell us that based on her experience, it didn't seem that this was going to be viable. It would be a surprise if she saw a baby in there next time we did an ultrasound. And as I'm taking all this information in, it's like I go numb. I see that she's moving her lips, but I can't hear anything after a certain point. So I say, okay. I make my appointment. And as soon as we get to the car, I broke down. I knew it was not good. I remember crying the whole ride home, feeling defeated. I remember searching online, maybe this is just a mistake. Maybe I'm not as far along as I am. Praying. I remember praying so much that time until my next appointment. I prayed so hard. Never have I prayed that hard in my life, asking God to not take this away. Please do not take this away. But at the end, I knew that if I wasn't pregnant, then I wasn't pregnant. When I first got my HCG levels back, I know my progesterone was a little low. So she did put me on progesterone pills. So I'm thinking, was it that? Was it my progesterone? Like, what could I have done to have prevented this from happening? Like, is it not developing? I had no answers because she couldn't tell me. I continued taking pregnancy tests that month. So I was like, if I'm still pregnant, then maybe there's still hope. We had already shared this with our families. We were just so excited that we couldn't wait. We couldn't wait until we had that first appointment. We told my parents, we told Luisa's mom, we told our closest family and friends. They knew. And they were so happy. We were all so happy. We felt that there was just so much that had been taken from us already, that we were so happy to have this. So we couldn't hold it in. We shared it with our families and we recorded that. And I don't think I'll be sharing that. I'll just keep that for us. It's hard to look back at those videos. We were at Disneyland this summer as well. And Luis's cousin, it's like his sister. So she's like my sister-in-law. She said, you have to manifest it. You have to put it in the universe. And there was just this little onesie that caught my eye. This one. There's a new sheriff in town. And I said, Luis, when we get pregnant, can you buy this for me? He said, yeah, we'll come and we'll buy this. And she said, no, just buy it. You have to manifest it so it can happen. So we did, not knowing. A month later, we'd find out we were pregnant. So I don't know what this little baby would have been, boy or girl. But this was gonna be what we were gonna announce with. So that's what she told me, that I had an ovum pregnancy or blighted ovum. She gave me my options. And this was the nurse at this time because the doctor wasn't in. She was so sweet. I love her. Her bedside manners is amazing. Gave me my options of what we could do. We could take, we can have it medicated so that my body releases it. We can let it release on its own, or we can do the D&C, which is the surgery. With doing the D&C, we were able to send the gestational sac for testing to see if it was chromosomally normal or if we could get some answers. And at that point, that's what I wanted. Not just to get answers, but I had this feeling that if I'm not pregnant, I was feeling awful. I had really bad migraines, very, very bad. I couldn't eat. So I had all the symptoms, but yet I wasn't pregnant, or at least not anymore. Or I was, but I wasn't. Yeah, we scheduled it right away, and that's what we did. It was hard. It was really, really hard because I feel that I let people down. I feel like I let my husband down. I feel like I let my parents down. I feel like I let my family down. And I know I didn't, but I feel like I did. Because the look in my husband's eyes when he knew we were pregnant, it broke my heart, because I knew that he wanted this just as bad as I did. And I don't get it. I don't know. I don't get why this would happen to us. I know we're not the only ones, but I feel that there was a part of me that was taken. I have so much faith in God and His plan, but I don't get it. There's so many unanswered questions still, and I know my doctor is gonna want to do testing because we will be continuing to move forward with IVF. We're not gonna lose hope on this, because I know the first thing is, were we able to make a baby? now we know we can. Now we know I can get pregnant. So now it's keeping me pregnant. My heart goes out to all of you that have experienced something like this, a miscarriage. Doesn't matter how early on or late on in your pregnancy, or have lost a child. Everybody's pain is different. Everybody's grief is different, but it doesn't take away from the fact that something was ripped out and taken away. We are closing a chapter when we thought we would never have to encounter. We are very excited to start IVF. Doesn't mean we're not still going to try on our own. So hopefully 2022 will bring us a baby. And I'll get these lines again. I'll get this pregnant test again. I will keep you guys updated on what comes next with IVF. So stay tuned for that. So make sure, if you haven't yet, to subscribe, hit the little bell notification so that you can get notified next time I upload my next video. Hopefully that will be sharing where we are at or what the next step for IVF is.